I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Yes! You just made the list! In cooking Brock Lesnar.
Hello and welcome to our first wrestling podcast with me, Stuart Irvine.
And me, Joshua Plummer.
And in our penultimate episode, we're going to talk about Summerslam 2017.
Yes, we are.
So, Josh, why are we doing a podcast?
We're doing the podcast. We've talked about it for a while. Like, we've been wrestling fans for a while. Well, I have since I was a boy, pretty much. But we've never, even when we were at college together, which was, we left 2010.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah,
that long.
7 years ago. We've never actually watched the wrestling together. So
Really strange, right?
really strange. Never did that. So we decided, okay, let's meet up for the big four. So the first time we met was Royal Rumble. So we went round to yours, and then we went to the screening at WrestleMania in Brighton.
That's great.
That was awesome. It was great fun. And
Well, obviously now it's like, full circle. Now it's doing SummerSlam and come on yours.
yeah, exactly. And Survivor Series, who knows? We might come to your house.
So do you want to get a crack on talking about going through each match and then talk about what we thought about it?
Let's do it.
So first off, we'll talk about the infamous pre-show.
Pre-show.
Because everyone loves the pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we didn't watch most of them probably for the fact of one, I had to finish work, and two, because Josh had to meet me.
I did, so I missed Neville Tozawa. Oh, hello, that was my phone.
But yeah, it was.
I wondered where that was.
Weird. But so we missed. But basically, the only match we actually watched together was the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match.
We did, yeah.
So you said you watched The Miz and The Miztourage versus Jason Jordan and Hardy Boys.
I did.
Was it a good match?
It was one of those matches where you could have seen it on Raw. It was definitely a pre-show kind of match, but there were literally only 100 people in attendance. There are people still lining up outside the, what was it called again? Is it the Barclays?
Barclays Centre, yeah.
Barclays Centre, that's the one. Everyone was queuing up there, so the arena was quite dead, really. And I know Matt Hardy was trying to pump the crowd up throughout the match, and the overall match was just kind of a bit sluggish, really. I don't know, when Matt Hardy, I didn't mention this beforehand, but when Matt Hardy came to the ring, he looked like he was carrying some kind of niggle or some kind of injury. I don't know, but he looked kind of sluggish. I don't know. And overall, nothing really memorable. There was one hot tag, and Matt Hardy did a cool thing for a bit. He did this delete where he was smacking Miz's head against the turnbuckle. I've always said it could go horribly wrong because the Miz has to actually bang his own head rather than Matt Hardy controlling his head. Yeah. So you could easily have, there's a moment in a live show of Bottom Rick Mail and Nate Edmondson where he's smacking his head against this radiator thing.
Yeah. Eddie
lets go, in which he's still just banging his head against the turnbuckle. That can easily happen, but fortunately it didn't. But it was nice to have that little delete moment. But again, you don't have the crowd there, so that's not going to happen.
I mean, to be fair, when it comes to the we obviously done a little bit of predictions beforehand.
We did.
And for this one, I put Jason Jordan and the Hardy Boys.
As did I.
Purely for the fact that the whole Kurt Angle legitimate son thing. So I thought they were going to push him, but they went for the Miz.
No, the Miz got the pinfall, snuck up behind with the skull-crushing finale.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's like we were talking about earlier. It's like the Miz. He hasn't been the same since he's gone to Raw.
Yeah, he doesn't need the Miztourage when he's got Maurice. It's just something for Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel to do.
You forgot they existed.
Yeah, I mean, Bo Dallas was great when he was in NXT. Curtis Axel had potential, obviously being the son of Mr. Perfect, and he was a Paul Heyman guy for a little bit.
Yes, remember that. He used to be a Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah.
He's the reason they stopped doing it, but to be fair, because it went horribly wrong.
It did.
But yeah, so obviously I can't give a grade, and I didn't watch it, but so what would you give that?
It was a 2, I think, because it wasn't a bad match. It was just okay, but again, the crowd didn't help.
Well, there's going to be more bad matches.
Surprisingly, that wasn't. I don't think that was the worst match of the night. Well, in terms of wrestling, that wasn't the worst wrestling match, but the arena was dead.
It was just
this card like didn't really care too much. And it's pre-show. The Intercontinental title's on the pre-show again, as it was at WrestleMania. Ambrose and Corbin.
It's good to know that WWE care about their titles.
Oh yeah, and
they love it.
And that brings us on to the Cruiserweight match.
Yeah, a match we both didn't watch, as we said.
I was looking forward to that match, but no, I had to go and walk all the way to the station in the rain to pick your ass up from the station.
I'm sorry. I could have, what can I say? Blame Savin, everyone else does. But, but we didn't watch it. But obviously beforehand, on Raw, the Go Home Raw, obviously Neville lost it.
Yeah.
And then, obviously in this match, he won it back. So the question is, why did he lose it in the first place?
What's the point? Yeah. I always thought, when Tozawa came in, I thought he would eventually take it from Neville and take it at SummerSlam. But I don't know, it's an odd kind of booking thing. I'm not a fan of the Titus brand. I think Titus O'Neil is annoying.
They're basically, I don't know. I think just because obviously he's he does a lot of like be a star type stuff.
Yeah,
he's good at charity, so they thought maybe just put him like as a more of a business person than it is like an actual wrestler. Because I don't know, just as a wrestler, he didn't do much, if you know what I mean. In the sense of he was a cool character and stuff, but when he was in the ring, he wasn't doing anything fantastic.
It's just when he just turns up, it's like, oh, go away.
And you keep forgetting he has was it Apollo Crews as well? What's he been doing?
Where's Apollo Crews gone again? Another great NXT. What's the word I'm looking for? But yeah, he was down at NXT, did very well, and he's a great wrestler, very, very athletic. But again, I think the charisma side.
Well, he was brought up too early, to be fair.
Yeah, I could say that.
But we're digressing here.
I mean, there's the problem when he was feuding with Dolph Ziggler with Kalisto, and Dolph Ziggler turned heel, and everyone was cheering Ziggler because they didn't care about.
That was weird. That was a weird feud. That was just another one of them, how poor the mid card was with SmackDown. That's all was going on.
We'll go on to.
But we'll
go on to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Probably a bit later on.
Well, we're going off topic here. But
yes, we are.
But basically, yeah. So obviously we can't grade it, but Neville retained his took him back his cruiserweight championship.
Yep, the king is back on the throne, and hopefully he stays there forever.
Well, we hope so. So obviously, and then the last pre-show match was the one we actually watched.
We did.
Was the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between the champions, the New Day, and the Usos.
The Usos.
I mean, good God. I mean, you watched Battleground, and obviously that was the only shining light in a pretty piss poor.
Yeah, and it was a really bright shining light as well. It was a great match.
So from watching that, it was good. I mean, it seems like the team works together. Like they got charisma. Like they both work quite well together. I mean, as you said, like with the storyline wise, like story in the match had a lot of thing like what Xavier Woods was trying to show with like his strength.
I think they've been trying to do that for a while. I mean, there were talks that when the New Day were kind of dying out and people were like, oh, when are they going to break up? But what they ended up doing was having kind of like a hiatus, and they came back slightly more refreshed, and now they've got another tag team title run. So I don't think they'll hold it for long.
No, but then obviously for a tag division with no tag teams, I guess you got to just
true.
It's SmackDown. Once again, SmackDown's just got that problem.
Well, we'll have to see what happens with the superstar shake-up
again, but we're going to that later.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, we can always talk about the finish. I mean, obviously, you said they had a story thing where like the Usos can beat Xavier Woods and Kofi, but
as they did on that previous week's SmackDown.
But when it comes to Big E, they can't defeat him.
The powerhouse, yeah.
Until obviously in this match when he did, when
they did.
I think it's like we just said the finish was like a double super kick, took him out. Then he went up the top rope and done a double splash.
Yeah. They both had to team up on Big E and take him out. That was good storytelling.
And then obviously hit the splash and in 1, 2, 3. So they are now the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Yes. And we both got that prediction wrong as well, didn't we?
Yes, I think we're going to realise that most of my predictions were
only by one.
Yeah,
but that came down to the main event, which again we'll get to.
Yeah, but yes, and then obviously now we've got pre-show. Now we're going to actually talk about the actual main card.
Yeah.
And the first match on the main card was Big Man John Cena.
Big match. Big man, John.
Yes, big man. But yeah,
He is a big man.
yeah, to be fair, he is. He's pretty muscular. But anyway, it's not the point. Against the former Mr. Money in the Bank, Baron Corbin.
Yeah. Oh dear.
So again, what do you think? What do you think about this match?
Well, just going from the build-up of the match, obviously Baron failing to cashing in, and Cena was involved in that again, where he failed to cash in, then Sandow failed, and then he cost Corbin.
Cena, he just ruins everything.
Cena likes to ruin everything, but there's that backstage heat and the rumours that Corbin is not getting on with management, or they're losing faith in him as a top heel. And a classic example of that being true is, as I was watching the pre-show before I picked up Stewart, they were interviewing Corbin, and Corbin's doing his stick about why he's feuding with Cena.
Yeah.
And he's trying to say there's saying don't stick your nose in other people's business.
Yeah.
But he said don't stick your peoples in other people's noses.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's.
Oh God. Now we see why you don't push him. He can't
Yeah,
talk.
it's,
He's
oh
talking to
dear. Because he had like potential from Royal Rumble. He eliminated Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber, he had a good run in that, and then afterwards, when he feuded with Ambrose, that was on the pre-show, and Ambrose won. It kind of went downhill.
Yeah, I don't know.
there.
I don't know about Corbin. It's like they're trying to put him as like his whole character's like lone wolf. So it's like trying to be this like doesn't need anyone tough like biker type guy.
I get that, yeah.
But it's just I don't know. It's just this way. Maybe just you don't define a wrestler by the way he talks, but it just doesn't.
It's the way he's booked as well. I mean, he's had matches where it's been 50-50, like even losses against Sami Zayn.
Yeah, but then everything's 50-50 booking here. Seems
Yeah, but if you want to get him as a top heel, you can't have that.
Yeah, but then they don't book. Well, we'll talk about their booking the heels later. But yeah, I mean, so we talk about the match. Obviously, it started off with obviously a lot of John Cena was really cocky in this match.
Very cocky, yeah. He comes out, he gets outside the ring, he puts JBL's hat on.
That's a thing about it. Everyone does that.
Yeah.
He was just, look, only JR was there, it would be JR's hat. But yeah, it's really weird how they did that. But then obviously it was cocky. And then when obviously Baron Corbin got back into the match with, had a cool spot with that bit when he went, but it was like outside and back inside the ring, and then like a massive clothesline.
That's a clothesline.
He tried too often.
Well, he did it 3 times. The first time it connected. The second time, I think Cena moved, but then Corbin got another attack in straight away. And then the third time, Cena caught him.
Yeah, that's...
And it's going on to... What I liked about this match, it was one of those matches where it could have potential to see what they were going to do. I mean, our predictions were different for this one. I predicted Cena, you predicted Corbin.
Yeah, well, if you want to go into that, I mean...
Yeah, we can do. I mean, I predicted Cena because... he's going to Raw.
Well, the rumours are.
Yeah,
anyway.
rumours are he's going to Raw and he's booked for No Mercy. Allegedly so, but
you have to book him strong.
I think I couldn't see if they don't trust Corbin enough, they're not going to have Cena put him over.
That's fair, dudes. But then again, as I try to do my predictions, is common sense is that if you want to actually push the guy, and if you want to give him the rub. To beat John Cena, it's like they've bigged it up. It's like when you beat John Cena, it's a big deal. It's like done it with AJ Styles, like beat him and he made it in.
Yeah, but they beat him clean. That worked with AJ. AJ is everyone recognises him as like he's the phenomenal one. He's one of the best, if not the best wrestler in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
Whereas Corbin, no one recognises that. They just see him as.
Yeah, but it's like. It could have worked if they just built on like the aggressiveness of it. Like he's so annoyed that he couldn't cash in.
Yeah, he kept. We've seen his cockiness. Corbin was getting more and more frustrated, but that stopped. Like he hit the deep 6. Cena kicked out. He got very frustrated with that, and then he didn't get frustrated anymore. He should have kept building and building and building to eventually. Yeah, he gets caught up because he's frustrated and doing the same thing over and over again, which is fine. But we'll see what they do with him because he could be the heel where he gets so frustrated he eventually takes it out on someone and he goes too far.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he didn't tack after the match as well.
Yeah, he should have got some kind of heat back. I'm not quite sure what happened afterwards if he did do something, but
I don't get that.
he should have at least.
Just like everyone celebrates. Then what John Cena does the time he wins, goes to the crowd, somebody knows, and he goes around, gives his fans watch, and then you tell him that everyone's happy, he's happy, being a nice crowd. Then you just cut out.
And we were talking about him potentially, even though we didn't want him to, him getting involved with the Jinder Mahal Nakamura match to him get his heat back.
We saw it was, but then it was too. Again, I think they try to do the bait and switch, and sometimes try and put us off guard because it was too predictable. Because I think that's some of the decisions they've done tonight.
There was speculation. It was interesting because on Twitter someone pointed out, or a couple of people pointed out that when Jinder Mahal rolled Corbin up, his foot was on the rope. Jinder Mahal's foot was on the rope, so the pin shouldn't have counted. So that was whether they play something off, it's probably too late now.
No, because obviously what you can do, if they had lost the briefcase, okay, technicality.
If they had 1 week, say they had another week of SmackDown, they could have done something about that, like they had with
the women's Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank, yeah. Whereas we're just going to do it again.
And it works, I think that worked quite well, to be fair. But yeah, so obviously... I
think they just probably made a mistake.
Yeah, so as the first match, John Cena won.
He did.
And we'll see where it goes in the future, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That, whatever. But so after that, we had the next match was another SmackDown. We got the first two.
Mm-hmm.
It was the SmackDown's Women's Championship match between Natalya and Naomi.
Yes.
So, I mean, do you think, because there's a lot of matches on the card, to just sort of botched together, just put together... This one, it felt, I don't know.
But this one, I could understand, I think Natalya, deserves a title shot because of her, work rate and, she's been doing it for years and years.
I think she's getting in the end as well.
That might be one of the reasons. Give her a title run at the end. But I think everyone wanted to see Naomi and Charlotte. That was kind of like the SummerSlam match. So I don't think anyone really predicted it. So, it's a fresh match, but...
It wasn't looking forward to the Raw one, because you knew it's going to be good. So this one was just sort of it's a bit...
against the characters. I think.
But I mean, not a lot happened as I remember in the match.
No,
I mean obviously you had I think Natalya doing the sharpshooter a lot.
Yeah,
I think she got it twice in the match.
Got it twice, and the second time, as I said, she should roll out as they're going towards the corner. She should tuck and roll, as she did. Very, tactical, good storytelling. Natalya falls back, smacks her head on the back of the turnbuckle.
But obviously, we're talking about sharpshooter, that went into the finish. Obviously, with Naomi trying to do that moonsault. That if she hit that, looked pretty beautiful. Moonsault that was.
Mm-hmm.
But then obviously the old moonsault, put the knees up, counter, and then went into the sharpshooter, and she was in the middle of the ring, tapped.
Yeah. And no, don't think anyone expected that, really.
No, I mean, it's one of shock. It wasn't going, oh my god, it was
there's no kind of, it wasn't a result which was kind of why did they do that? What was the point of doing that? There was kind of they did that, okay. That's
nice.
It's interesting. Let's see where it goes. It's okay.
Yeah, but again, it was we all were expecting a cash in, but then I knew they wouldn't do it. Probably for that, they'd done the old, was it backstage watching the TV in a weird angle thing. It seems to be a thing. And obviously when you saw that, it's well, nah, she's not going to cash in.
No.
So, and after that, it was just
they're not going to cash in heel on heel.
No, true, but it would be an interesting choice. But we'll see what happens with that. But what we're going to... I forgot we didn't even grade that matchup. I mean, was it? I'll give it a 3 out of 5 because it was pretty. Pretty.
I don't remember. I think I gave it 2.5 because I can't remember a lot of the match. But we have a slightly different grading system. With my 5-star system, 1 is completely piss poor, awful, whereas 5-star is Undertaker, Shawn Michaels territory.
Yeah, remember it for the end
so
of time. Yeah.
2 can still be an okay match, or 2.5 is it had potential to be really good. 3 is good match. 4 is very, very good, potential match like candidate.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
And 5 is one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
that's how I do it.
I mean, it was good. I just enjoyed it. I mean, was nothing wrong with it, but it was nothing amazing about it. That's all.
It just wasn't. It was just the ending, which was like, oh, okay, that was like the only really interesting thing.
Yeah, but they didn't really build it enough to make it as more as that.
No.
But that's all I can say really about that match. Really.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. So now from SmackDown for the first Raw match of the night. Oh god, was it Big Cass versus the Big Show,
right,
with Enzo Amore inside a shark cage?
Yep, and it's just one of those matches where the feud has clearly been going on for far too long. The amount of times there's been variants of Big Cass versus Big Show, or Big Cass versus Enzo Amore, or Big Cass versus Big Show and Enzo Amore with that ringside or whatever, but they're just trying to draw it out as much as possible. Like, okay, how can we make it more interesting? Let's put Enzo in the shark cage, and Big Show can break Big Cass can
make him look
injure Big Show's hand.
Yeah,
to add a bit more drama.
But it's like, well, obviously because when Enzo Amore came out, he done he's a great talker. It's one of his strengths, and obviously he's like, I'm the bad boy and stuff.
Bad boy about power and money.
And I think that was, for me, when I heard that, it's like, you thought, it might be heel turn, but it's like, it's more, I think it was just an acknowledgement of the backstage heat.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there was speculation that it could be a heel turn where he ends up teaming with Cass, which wouldn't make sense.
No, because why turning him to then join him again?
Yeah.
It's like, come on. But again, it's like, the shark cage, I get it while he had it, but it was no point.
Because they were the Big Show, and they've been with the Big Show far too long. Like, what they're going to do, because they're two new stars. Like, Big Cass, the reason he betrayed and attacked Enzo because he wanted to get higher up the card, but Enzo was always holding him back. But now he's spent so much time focusing on Enzo Amore, he's just got himself to blame for that. Surely he'd be pushing on to do something else. So one of those feuds could be he goes to challenge, if Intercontinental title, that'd be the next step, or he challenges someone like Roman Reigns to get into the upper mid card, try and push him up there,
or just go for because obviously there's going to be a lot of people going for Brock now. Insert him into 5 people trying to go for it.
Yeah,
like all these people trying to go for Brock's Universal style.
Yeah,
because if you remember, he was in the was it when Finn Balor injured his shoulder and we linked it when Kevin Owens was the champion.
Yes, he was.
He was in that Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
So, and he looked quite good in it, to be fair.
Yeah.
So he could do it, but this match, obviously, let's talk about he's in about Big Show's consistency when it comes to it's broken arm type.
Yeah, it's going back.
Thing.
It's going back to Corbin, where the storytelling is not consistent. Where the spot where Big Show punches Big Cass, knockout punch, and he goes, he plays it, and he couldn't hit him hard enough with it. But if you punch someone with an injured hand, that hand's pretty much useless. And then he goes on to use it to try and choke slam Big Cass.
Yeah, but if you've got a broken hand, maybe I'm just not a doctor, but you can't move it. So it's like, how is he supposed to move it to the point?
Even if you can't move it, it's going to be bloody painful.
Yeah, it's just as you said, it's before we started recording, consistency.
Yeah,
it wasn't consistent enough. But just a bit of consistency. He can't hit anything, and it just hurts so much. Obviously, the main thing of this feud was to make Big Cass look really strong.
Yeah,
pretty much. Because obviously
they did that okay, with the best they can, really, because he didn't muck around. When Enzo did that comedy, I think that was the only reason they did it. The shark cage was for comedy. Look how small Enzo is. Look, he's taking his. It got quite kinky. He took his took all his clothes off while he kept his pants on, and then covered himself in this lube. I'm like, this is getting very, very saucy now.
It was getting crazy. But then it was a cool spot though, because when he was trying to get down and he's hanging, and then just Big Cass saw him, he's like, "Oh hi!" Boom, hits him with the big boot, and he's out, knocked out for the count.
Yeah, I love that happened, because it just shows Enzo Amore has always just been a thorn in his side,
and he sells it so well. He knocks him out. He's just on the floor.
He's like that, and it's wide-eyed as well. There's lights are on, but nobody's home.
I always love them kind of spots where it's not about the actual move; it's about how you sell the move. And Enzo is good at selling, getting his ass whooped.
It would have been cool. It looked good anyway, but when Enzo Amore was hanging there for a while, it would have been cool. Obviously, he's too high up for Cass just to do a big boot from there. But as Enzo's dropping down in midair, kick him in the head.
Yeah,
that would look brutal.
I mean, obviously it finished with what was it? Big Show. What was it? Big Cass. I mean, hitting like two
big boots.
Big boots, and then the Empire elbow.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, won the match.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a victory. And hopefully
now he has to bloody move on and do something else.
Hopefully. Obviously for that match, I gave it. We sort of agreed like 2.5 stars, like sort of 2.
It was 2, I think.
Yeah.
What did I put it?
Well, I put 2.5, 2.
Okay.
So,
I think I put 2 for me because that was. I mean, when the fans are chanting boring.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And that's when the beach ball should have came out, but we'll get to that.
Boring. Talk about the crowd as well. It's a bit. The one is actually like up for most of the
Yeah,
match,
there were quite a few matches where they were, especially in the front row, you can see like heads are down. They were only really interested in Nakamura, Mahal, and
was it Dean Ambrose?
Oh yeah,
Rollins and stuff.
Yeah, in the Fatal 4-Way.
But it just proves that this is what happens when you just stick matches with no build. People just don't care.
Yeah, or if there is a build, it's only been building for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's. But yeah, I mean, so let's hope they do something with Big Cass finally. But obviously, got down here. We had a brief backstage segment with was it Kurt Angle and Danny Bryan.
Yep.
It was brief, but it just like it was just another one of them moments where you just like everyone's like. Kurt Angle's doing his like his it's true, it's damn true. Then you've got Danny Bryan doing his yes, and there was a cool thing.
Yeah, but they shaded that around, didn't they?
Yeah, as you
to
did.
Mock each other.
And then and then there was a cool thing when Kurt Angle's gone yes, and Danny's gone no, and it just got really intense. And I'm just like,
and then it got really silly.
But yeah, but it's well, I was talking to you just a bit of sci-fi here, but when we were talking about like supposed to be different brands.
Yeah,
they're too nice. They should be like hating
I know
each other.
what you mean. You got to have that competitive edge.
Yeah, just don't have it, and it's just that's why it doesn't feel like.
It doesn't feel like a rivalry where you're meant to be competing against each other. I know Vince McMahon said that with Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon. So whether it's a different,
one's been out since WrestleMania, and the other one's sort of just there.
A different mentality.
Yeah.
But with those lot, Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan has always been about the opportunity.
Yeah.
And Kurt Angle, I think he's just kind of like, okay, you're feuding with this guy. You don't like it, I'll just put you in a match together.
Yeah. But I don't know, it's just but I just thought perhaps it was really cool to see, and it'd be nice to see more of that, basically.
Yeah.
But God. Now we've got to talk about the shortest match on the card. Randy Orton versus our Spirit Animal, Rusev.
Yeah.
And what were they thinking with this match? I mean,
we can finally get onto the subject about why SmackDown is not being as well received as it used to be before the last Superstar shake-up. And again, The Miz moving to Raw was one of those reasons, as well as the weak tag team division. The women's division is not. It's okay. It's not great. And getting the mid card and the main card the wrong way around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because obviously the main thing in SmackDown is I think it should be AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. That thing was great.
Yep.
I mean, I'm liking that.
Yep.
But the point is back to this anyway. It was like with Corbin, we were talking about like building heels.
Heels, yeah.
Because I said I went into this thinking, okay, well, what's Orton going to do? And obviously Rusev is coming back. They're trying to build him up as another heel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that someone that can challenge that, you know, like the baby face of that. And what did they do? Tagged him. Was it first beginning of the match? You know, Rusev just like, you know, done the tagged him early, done the beatdown.
It's similar to last year's SummerSlam as well. I can't remember if he ambushed Roman Reigns or it was the other way around, but that match didn't go ahead because there was some kind of ambush before the match.
And it's just like attacked him, and then you thought, oh, okay, got the, you know, I got the advantage. The bell rang, jumped, then you just hit an a pretty sloppy one, I think. RK out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3. The match ended in 10 seconds, and then when we saw it, we were like, just with the shot face, like, why?
We both had Rusev as predictions.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to bury one heel, you've got to build another, surely.
I mean, because he hasn't been the same, obviously, since he lost that. We lost to Cena for the US title many years ago.
Yeah.
And they haven't really built him up, really. I thought they were going to try again, because obviously SmackDown, they've got more like, give him more of a platform. But
and hopefully,
no.
It's one of those. It's the booking of Rusev's not great. It's not helping him, and he was great with Lana.
Yeah.
You know, they've naturally got chemistry together. I mean, there are
They're married.
They're married, so
yeah.
Yeah.
But then I still think it's they're Stu punishing him for like that. I mean, I know it's pretty long time ago, but WWE are bitter.
What
like that.
was it? Punishing him like there was heat about him apparently cutting his hair or something.
That's how petty they are.
Are you serious?
Well, you know, people can lose pushes for less. So,
yeah.
But no, I mean, we love the RKO. I know who doesn't. I mean, some of the RKOs he does is amazing, but it's just, I just don't see what benefits Orton, because he's going to be like, oh, I won, yay. What's he going to do now?
It's because I've just destroyed Rusev because I've lost against Mahal so many times. Yeah, but you lost because of shenanigans.
Exactly. I mean, someone said it would have been cool. Maybe not work, but like when he had a battleground when Great Khali interfered, should have been Rusev, because then he could have at least built some sort of reason why they feud, not just for reasons.
Yeah, but what would that reason be? Why would Rusev get involved?
I don't know. You could. I mean, they're going for the evil foreigner thing, so just say two foreigners against it. I don't know.
Yeah, but I can see why they had Great Khali because of India. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Just to get the audience from India.
Fair dues, but
Great Khali's a huge celebrity over there.
It would have gave reasons though. That's what I'm saying. It would have gave like them to actually want to fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad Great Khali is as far away from WWE as possible.
Oh,
but
yes.
If he turned up and then again doesn't stick around, what was the point?
Yeah, but anyway, back to this. It's just I don't just why it's like.
I mean, let's think about like the heels on SmackDown. Who have we got? I mean, Mahal and Owens. You've got Corbin and Rusev who've just been buried.
Yeah.
Who else do we have?
Don't know.
We got the Usos with the tag team, so it doesn't really count. You have the Ascension who are just doing a skit with the Fashion Police.
They're just there.
They're just there.
I mean, no major storyline ones. You got a point. Yeah, it's like
you've got Mike Kanellis. You got Aiden English.
We're talking about like actually, high profile.
But
heels.
like high profile heels. Yeah, that's the point. They don't have any apart from Owens and Mahal.
And how you supposed to build them if you just squashed them in 10 seconds?
Yeah.
But
now you need someone else.
Yeah. So I gave that. We're gonna give that like I wouldn't grade it, but if we're gonna grade it, it's not even worth.
It's
a star.
one. It's not even
worth a star.
No.
To be fair, half
might be a half. Yeah, because you can't grade. It's not even a match.
And that's been generous. To be fair.
Yeah. True.
But to a piss poor match to an actually pretty damn good one. To be fair.
Yeah.
I just want to go back into anything more.
What was the next match? Was it the
War women's championship match?
Mm-hmm.
The champ Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks.
The Boss.
This obviously was inserted because of Bayley's shoulder injury.
Yeah. Is it a shoulder injury or do you think it's kayfabe?
I think obviously when we saw him backstage walking up, obviously she had the I don't know. It's like
she had that tape that Cesaro has.
I think if you said that she's got movement in it.
Yeah, she had that interview because she was being interviewed with Becky Lynch about who's going to win between Ember Moon and Asuka.
Yeah.
And Bayley was talking about the injury, saying, I've got full movement in it now, but I'm not quite sure how long I'm going to be out for, pretty much.
Yeah, but I think it might be a bit of both, I think. But kayfabe and a bit of, it's getting better. But anyway, so that's why Sasha Banks is in this match. If we're going to talk about, Alexa Bliss, what do you think of her reign? Like her reign as like War's Women Champion?
I like it. She's a deserving champion. She's a great heel, and she doesn't rely on like Nia Jax. She can win like, on her own if she needs to. Whether there might be some shenanigans, but I just like her more like as a character. I don't like what they're doing where obviously she's got that arty kind of punky look and going for that Harley Quinn,
yeah, Quinn stuff, yeah. But then it sort of works because the whole thing with the way she holds the belt, like
but she's more like bratty schoolgirl rather than like psychopath.
Yeah, they try to push less of that, I think, after the Suicide Squad thing.
Yeah,
but
we're not going to get into that.
No, that's not do this. But basically, if you go into like the match. I mean, it was maybe it's just we see it all the time, but I just like it's old school, like working on the body part.
Yeah, as we were saying, like the old SmackDown mid card matches.
Yeah, it's like when he's like take a like example because obviously Sasha Banks is finishes a bank statement. It's a submission that's like you need to use both her arms.
Yep.
So Alexa Bliss was using it as like working on that.
Yep.
And it was
clever.
And it was just like I don't know. I just like that. Just like simple, like
Yeah, I didn't have any issue with that working the arm great, and there was a struggle trying to put it on, but she's hurt. And the only kind of downside, well, there's two downsides. One is I predicted Bliss, you predicted Banks, you won that.
No, I actually got a prediction right.
You did.
It's
But
positive times.
What I'd like to see, it wasn't really a downside, but it's something that I'd like to see more, is when Sasha Banks got that third lock on Bliss.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more struggle and strain with Banks, like holding on for maybe like 10 seconds longer, 15 seconds longer, so you can really show that Banks is really straining, it's hurting her.
Or just like tease the tap, like sort of like used to do when like the hover the arm and stretch
Bliss,
it.
It was just kind of on 2 seconds. Bliss taps.
Yeah, it just felt a bit. I don't know, like some of these finishes, just most of the time I was going, oh, okay, is that how it's going to finish?
Yeah.
I mean, no fault in the match. I mean, it was just obviously not. I don't think it was a classic or anything, but
It's a good match.
It was entertaining. Both worked really well.
Good
and
psychology.
And obviously, we've got a new War Women's Champion with Sasha Banks. I think it's like
No complaints there.
yeah, I mean, but interesting. Obviously, we'll talk about interesting what they would do next, because I've got a thing that I'm sure like Bayley's going to come back and say, well, I never lost a title.
Yeah.
Can I have a rematch? And
I'm your friend. Give me
yes,
friends. We should fight.
friends.
Give me a hug.
But yeah, and then I think it's going to be a thing where like she's going to title match, and then Sasha Banks is going to be like, well, you've got, well, I don't know, and then sort of turn on her, because I think Sasha Banks would be going to turn heel at some point.
I can see they could do a triple threat match, maybe.
I mean, they're all good, so I mean, I'm happy with that. Cause
Yeah,
all,
I'd be happy with that.
They're going to put on a good match, so
Yeah.
But I put that as a 3 out of 5. I mean, pretty state standard, pretty good.
Yeah, 3 out of 5, good match. No complaints really. Wasn't anything special, but it was a good match. I wouldn't say about Bayley again, going back to what they could do or what they could have done, is that might have been interesting, is if Bayley came out to, obviously they went for this story. I'm going to sneeze soon. Hopefully I don't. But they went for the arm story and that struggle, which is fine. They went for that story, so they weren't going to do this, which is Bayley comes out to help Sasha, but ends up costing Sasha, and that builds tension between their friendship. It's like, I don't need you. You don't need to do that. But she still keeps getting involved.
Okay.
And eventually she goes, no, you've cost me my title.
And then just turns on it.
Yeah.
That could work. I mean, we're interested to see what they do next, but we've got, that's third, fourth time she's got this out now?
That's the fourth. It's fourth or fifth, isn't it?
I think it's the fourth, because obviously they've done the hot potato thing with us out with them and Charlotte's couple last year. So
and they had criticism saying, "Oh, it makes the title look weak." No, it doesn't, because you've got those two, and they're equally as good.
So it works for both. But yeah, so
it's not like the Attitude Era. At some point, was it 99 or 2000, where the title kept changing like nearly every month?
Yeah, but that was all ratings, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was loads of different people holding it. Whereas this, it felt like it was a great feud, and they had loads of firsts in there, like the Iron Man, the Full Sail Anywhere, the Hell in the Cell.
Yeah, it's just because they're both good workers.
But
it'd be interesting. Anyway, back to this. It'd be interesting to see what they do next. But from that to we talk about next match, Finn Balor, all dressed up in the demon stuff, against the Eater Worlds, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, the Demon King, not the Demon Kane.
Yeah, so you got to be careful with that one.
It sounded like last year when it was Seth Rollins with the accent, Demon Kane. Demon Kane. It does sound like Demon. It does sound like Kane's going to come out.
Yeah,
Jesus, Finn Balor's bulked up.
Just call him the Demon.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we'll start off with maybe not the match, but obviously because the paint he got on his body.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think some people a long time ago noticed that every time he dawns it, it gets like it spreads.
It does.
It's like this one. It was like the thing, like because obviously the big mouth. It's like it's going more down his body.
Yeah.
And I think as we were talking about it, I think they're trying to do a thing where the more he uses it, the more it consumes him.
It does. Like he only uses it as a last resort. He doesn't want to use it. I mean, he's used it like once every year, like against Rollins and Wyatt. So next time we use it is maybe like Lesnar.
Yeah.
Or something. But something really big has to happen for him to consume and go full demon.
Yes.
But once he becomes full demon, that's him. He's demon.
Yeah, it's like, what was I saying? Like, it's like, one time it's like he keeps losing as just Finn Balor. So but he wins when he's a demon. So he's so fed up in losing. It's like the only way I can ever win is going full demon.
Yep.
And that could turn into some cool stuff. But
cool stuff. Turn heel.
Yeah. Well, what you said, the club and everything. Get that back because obviously they're not doing much.
Yeah, we were talking about what could have been interesting. Is we obviously haven't seen Luke Harper or Eric Rowan around for a bit, and Gallows and Anderson just kind of helped out Cass breaking Big Show's hand, and that's kind of about it. They're not really into anything at the moment, so that might have been the start of something getting the trios back together, and that's also a reason for the Shield to get back together.
Yeah, because you can have like a team of 3 members and another team of 3 members, and we can it could be good. But yeah, I mean that's what. Noticed. I mean, another thing I really liked was the sort of facial expressions he did. It's like he just like the teeth and also like the sort of like look like
the
you
snarl
are
that the beast, the demon.
Yeah, so he actually look like he's completely like consumed by this demon persona. Just little things like that I just really liked. About the match, I mean, it was alright. I mean, because obviously Bray's not the best in the ring. He's not great.
He's more a character. That's how he's over. I think he's not average, but he's above average. Like, Miz is an average wrestler, but he's a great personality.
Yeah, he plays on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there was a spot where, like, I think he was trying to take him off the apron or something. I think it was something like that. I think he jumped before he did it or something. Or am I thinking about something else? But I mean, I can't remember a lot about, like, the only spot I can really remember that came from the match was the bit when Bray Wyatt was doing his spider leg thing.
Yep.
And then just like the demon just like flipped up and you can see Bray Wyatt's face going, oh crap. And he's just like losing, he's really like, what have I done? And obviously, yeah, I mean, talking about it, if everyone's talking about Wyatt, it's like, well, he's lost again on a pay-per-view match.
Yep. Well, it was he was never going to win.
No, but it was I think some say it's too predictable. It's like there was never like you said like never had doubt he was not going to win. It's like there wasn't like little he might. It's like no, it was going to be Finn all the time.
There was no there was the downside of the match. There was no kind of doubt like Wyatt could do this. He never hit Sister Abigail, never hit kind of like a big move. It was just kind of the match. It was kind of like slow kind of paced, and then it kind of went just to the end with the drop kick and the coup de grace and the sling blade. Yeah,
I think it was just more. He said a lot of these Sonny's matches. I think they're trying to cut it as much as possible for the main event. I think because that's the longest in the night. So.
That was 11 minutes. I think it was, or 10 minutes. It was one of the shorter matches.
So I mean, it's just I think that's what they were doing. But I mean, again, it's just Finn Balor won. What does he do next? Is it going to be a rematch, or do you think he'll insert him into the title picture?
I have no idea. It'll either be the next feud for the Universal title will either be Lesnar and Balor or Lesnar and Strowman.
I mean, Strowman, I mean, with that.
I think everyone wants to see that.
So maybe they should tease it more. Tease it.
Maybe wait till Survivor Series, wait till Royal Rumble. I don't know.
I would go Royal Rumble personally, but if he wasn't going to go and get for the title picture, who would you put him against that actually would benefit him?
Are we talking about Balor?
Yeah.
I want to see the club.
Don't we all, to be fair?
Yeah.
But I mean, again, he has to turn heel, but obviously you can't just suddenly turn. You have to have a decent reason to do it, obviously. But I mean, it'd be interesting. But I would say verdict that match. Get another 3 out of 5. Yeah,
it was a good match. I thought it could have been more. It was like a dream match. Everyone wanted to see Balor and Wyatt, and then they gave it away the previous week on Raw, which is a bit so I kind of dampened it a little bit.
They did that a lot last week.
They did that a lot, yeah.
It's really weird, but it's over. So yeah, Finn won that, so hopefully we get to see more of the Demon because everyone loves him when he does the entrance in the Demon. So yeah. So next, after that match was the one I was really looking forward to watching.
Hell yeah!
Was the Raw Tag Team Championship match between with the champs Cesaro and Sheamus versus newly reformed Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
Yes, not reformed Shield, as some people are going. This is the Shield reunion. No, no.
No, but newly reformed. They've
in terms of their relationship, their trust.
They did build it brilliantly, though.
I really like that. They really teased it well, going back and forth. Really good.
But yeah, so I mean, obviously, you saw was it Seth Rollins who had this? Or was it? I don't know what it. Him with pay-per-views and having weird coloured costumes and stuff.
Yeah.
He had like the red or something.
Red.
And obviously. Dean just turned up as Dean.
Yeah.
So
he would.
Yeah, but I mean, I like. Was it? Well, if we're going to talk about the former tag champs anyway.
Yeah.
So we got. So was it Cesaro and Sheamus?
Yep.
I mean, who would have thought that would have worked?
No, that was it's working really well now. It's been a long time coming. I mean, it's been going for quite a while. I mean, they were doing the rivalry of the best out of 7, and then the winner gets a championship opportunity. Then Mick Foley went, oh, actually, we'll team you together, and everyone went, oh, for God's sake. But then they ended up working together, and they beat the New Day.
Yeah, remember that. Yeah. And actually, and then obviously with the thing with Hardys and the WrestleMania thing, and then he just turned, and it actually made sense.
Yeah.
Actually, was
the only thing that kind of doesn't make sense is one's the kilt. I can understand why Sheamus might wear one.
Yeah.
But it's the camouflage.
I don't get it. But then,
who was it you said before was like the ring general? Who was that again?
Oh, that was more. I think it's like Christopher Daniels in Ring of Honor.
Yes,
because obviously he has like a sort of like a German thing. Like I'm so good. I'm like general in the wing and stuff. Yeah. I think that's what whole
they're going for.
Yeah, but
okay.
But when we talk about the match, obviously the one thing we really want to talk about in this match is the I call it the beach ball incident. But yeah, I mean.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it really close to the mic. Beach Ball Mania can fuck off.
Why?
All beach balls, burst them. Just don't take them to live events. I mean, especially with those matches, it's the timing of it that really, it just generally annoyed me. It's like, this is...
I did see it in the corner though.
This is Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. They've got back together. There's more trust there.
Yeah.
And then they're throwing a fucking beach ball around.
But
they didn't throw it around for Big Show and Big Cass. I can understand that.
Yeah, but to be fair, Cesaro, top-notch heel.
Oh, fantastic.
I love it. Just went over and took it and it's like ripped it in half and just everyone's... I popped it up. Like,
it was a pop in two senses of the word. One with the pop of the ball, quite literally, and the pop of the crowd going, yes, thank God for that. Thank you, Cesaro.
Yeah, everyone's cheering him because it's like, thanks, we didn't want to...
Yeah.
I just love that. It was so cool. It's just like, it was off the script as well, like sort of like off the cuff. Like, it didn't have, you went, screw this. Got it. But yeah, I mean... Anyway,
enough about the beach ball.
Let's actually talk about the actual... talk about when you finish it, the match, really.
Yeah.
What went on, I mean, obviously, you remember the match more, like the finish, because I can't remember it so much.
The finish, they kind of spots that I liked where Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, they look at each other and they dive outside the ring. Those kind of moments, and then the end of the match. So I can't remember what he's called it, but he's got that knee to the face.
Oh yeah, it was sort of like.
And then into Dirty Deeds, and again Dirty Deeds, classic finishing move. No one kicks out of it.
Yeah, and then 1, 2, 3, and he won the title. And I was like, won the tag title.
It was a nice feel-good moment.
Yeah, it was the thing that people think about. It's predictable. It's like, but it was good predictable.
It was good. Sometimes predictable is good.
Yeah, I mean, the question is now they've won it. It's like, yes, they've done it. What are they going to do now?
We were talking about No Mercy.
Yeah.
I mentioned before, like, there's got to be... They'll either... It depends if they want to do the trio. I think it was Shield. I don't think they will do. Well, at least not for the foreseeable future. But they'll feud with Cesaro and Sheamus. I mean, because I think they've all got good chemistry, fighting against each other and working together. But they'll feud against each other with No Mercy. There'll be some kind of stipulation, like a cage match or something. But a classic steel cage match, not pinfall, submission, or any of that crap. You have to get out and you have to use teamwork. And that's something that Sheamus and Cesaro are very good at, working together. And Rollins and Ambrose have only just kind of got back together to...
It's on unstable ground.
Stable ground again. Yeah. They've started working together again. With a cage match, there might be an interesting moment where it all completely falls apart again, where Rollins... Like, everyone's down. Rollins is climbing the cage. Ambrose is getting up. Rollins sits... I just smacked the mic. Never mind. Rollins climbs the cage. He gets to the top. He inspects, sees what's going on. Sheamus and Cesaro is still down. Ambrose is struggling to get back to his feet.
Yeah.
Rollins makes the decision then. You can interpret this in two ways, where Rollins looks down, but it decides to get out of the cage. One, like in his head, or it could be he's looking at I'm describing this really badly, but he's top of the cage. He sees Ambrose like climbing up the ropes to get his balance, and he thinks, "Oh, Ambrose can get out. I'll leave." Like he's got this in the bag, but then as Ambrose is climbing, he gets caught. Sheamus and Cesaro, and they show him no mercy. They kick the crap out of him. They really do, like, to a pulp.
But then it's like...
And Ron's like, oh, crap. And then there's tension there where Ambrose is like, you fed me to the dogs.
You left me there.
You left me there.
Because obviously it is, like, really unstable. It's like, it works now, but...
They got on, but it's fragile.
That's why I think that's the way it should go. I don't think it'd just be thinking, they're all, pals now and now.
Yeah.
It's like a normal tag team, because you're not.
Unless... Like, again, top of the cage, he does that on purpose. He decides, actually, I'll just leave, which doesn't really make sense. To get the Shield back together, unless he's not been in the main title picture for a while, Rollins. So, unless he's getting the Shield back together in order to climb to the top, as he did. But, mind you, that was more of the help of Triple H and the Authority.
Yeah, but then again, it'd be like sort of repeating a sort of... I mean, it could be like...
It would do, yeah.
And it would be nice to actually see him, maybe he get betrayed, maybe instead of like so he knows how it feels. Maybe I don't know.
Roman Reigns turns heel.
That we all
That's not gonna happen.
That we all want. It's like this. It's like oh God's sake.
It'd be that moment as well where there'll be the reunion and finally Roman Reigns gets cheered. Then a month later he turns his back and finally he gets booed. So finally we cheer him and they go, actually, nah.
That's so WWE. That sounds like a thing they would do, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it was just again. I'm gonna have to say because obviously it was a bit more of a good moment. Okay, for a bit more than maybe not 4, but like 3.5, maybe.
Yeah, did I put 3.5?
That's what I put. I mean, don't know if you like.
Yeah, I think it was only 3.5 for me. It wasn't 4 because again the predictability of it. I like matches where like which way is this gonna go?
Yeah, we just knew because the way they were building it up, it wasn't gonna go any other way than them winning it.
I thought they would win it because otherwise they'd have to. If they lost, they'd have to break Rollins and Ambrose up. Straight away. What
was the point of doing all that? It made sense. Yeah. For once, they actually done it for change.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going back. Now we're going to another match we're really looking forward to. United States Championship match between the champ AJ Styles, the phenomenal. I can't even say it.
Phenomenal.
Yes, and his challenger Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon as the special guest referee.
Yep.
That always ends well.
It's bound to happen when you got a special guest referee. It's like, I'm going to call this down the middle. Nope.
And he's in McMahon as well, so
of course
always end badly. But I mean, obviously, this is their third, fourth match they've had together, back and forth with the US title.
Yeah.
I mean, I obviously haven't watched all of them, but I mean, have you watched some of them?
Yeah, watched some of them. I can't keep track of like which was which. I mean, they had the triple threat match with Chris Jericho. Then they had the match the
house show one, wasn't it?
The house show, but they also had one beforehand where I think Owens defended it. And I'm not quite sure if that was the one with they had a really screwy finish.
I'd been the one. Was it? They have a lot of things like putting the rope on the arms on the mat because obviously that's how you get a pinfall.
It was something like that, but it was also the referee got like a thump to the eye or whatever, and he was just kind of there like looking disorientated, but he was clearly watching and could see.
Oh, referees! They've got to be the most fickle people. Like you poked them and I'm like, oh god, I'm on the floor.
I quite like because they had to do something else with it, so I think special guest referee had a nice dynamic to it. I quite liked that. And
they've got both a history with him, if you know what I mean.
Exactly, yeah. Well, Kevin Owens not so much, but I think that's what they're going to build into now.
Yeah, and I think it works because obviously he's always been that hothead type, like sort of like gets frustrated when things are not going his way.
Yeah,
and it really works for him. So I think it could work really well.
I think so.
But about the match, though, I mean, good spots, good match. I mean, this is probably that fourth match they're doing, so
got great chemistry.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously they've done a lot of things with the special guest referee thing, where was it thing like doing quick counts or doing slow counts,
especially when they've just pushed him or whatever. He gets frustrated. Quick count, both of them.
I mean, he almost screwed them both once. Where he pushed him and he both rolled up. Went to a roll up.
Yep.
I mean, it's just like. The funny thing is, like he was there to call it down the middle, but he actually done more harm than good. Yeah, that's obviously the point. But I mean, what was there was a spot where I think it was like Kevin Owens had him pinned. And he obviously done the old thing where you knew he was going to put his leg up because he pins one side and then but then doesn't put both legs.
Yeah, it was the pop-up power bomb, and it was really close to the rope. So he's going to put his foot on the rope. He got to really close to 2, and then he just did it.
And
again, that's AJ Styles, the ring awareness that he has.
Yeah, veteran he is.
Yeah,
and then obviously Kevin Owens just went completely nuts.
Yeah, because I'm not quite sure if he did like get 3, or he might have like scraped the mat. It was kind of like 1, 2, and just kind of like he might have touched it. There might be like a small technicality.
Yeah, but he was doing a lot of it. He was just like getting bumped, or like pushed on the floor, bumped around all over the match. To be fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, we can talk about the finish.
Mm-hmm.
With was it AJ Styles hitting the
phenomenal forearm, and then it was good because it was a clean end to the match. There was no shenanigans from Shane really, because if he hit the phenomenal forearm, I can't remember exactly what happened between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon just beforehand, but he hit the phenomenal forearm, then he got up to hit the Styles Clash, and it was kind of a clean-ish pin, but it wasn't. There was no
controversial.
No, there's no controversial ending.
I think that's to prove that I think they want to end their rivalry there, because obviously AJ Styles needs to go on to
So he'll have more beef with Shane McMahon rather than
AJ. So you can say, well, you're the reason I haven't got the US title. You're screwing me over and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really where it's going. Because I did read something on No GQ that they were gonna go. I think they're going to go Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon at SummerSlam, but they changed the
Survivor Series, isn't it?
No,
were they going to do Survivor Series?
Yeah,
SummerSlam rather.
Yeah, we're going to do it now, but then they obviously they put the brakes on it.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I don't know if it's like from what I said. I think it's pretty standard match for them. It's like I've probably seen them do better.
Yeah.
But so obviously AJ Styles is still the United States champion.
There was a spot in the match which could have been interesting where AJ Styles put the calf crusher on Kevin Owens, and Shane McMahon was standing in front of Kevin Owens, like blocking him from the ropes.
Remember,
when I was watching it, going, Shane, you've got to move out of the way because you can't reach the ropes. If he'd stayed there, and Kevin Owens could have played that, I can't get the rope because you're there, and like screwed him out of that, like unintentionally.
It wouldn't be enough one of them screw finishes.
It would be a screwy finish, yeah.
See why I didn't do it, but
they could have. I don't know. Maybe reference that more, where there was a lot of heels going, "Shut up" to the crowd. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! A lot of the matches, the heels were doing that. But when he's speaking to Shane McMahon, when he's doing that, are you kidding me? I think when he nearly counted, we might have actually counted 3, and he's just going absolutely berserk. He could have done a similar thing where Shane McMahon was in the way for too long and he couldn't reach the rope. So you're like, you need to move. What kind of referee are you?
He does the frustrating thing like amazingly well. I mean, he's just good at being that can't sore loser type thing. He just goes crazy.
Oh, he is, yeah.
But
he's a massive sore loser.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to do that. I mean, obviously we've got an idea what they're going to do, but yeah. So I mean, I gave that a 4 out of 5 because it was one of the top matches of the card. And obviously you put pretty much the same. Was it 4 out of 5?
I can't remember if it was 3.5 or 4.
I think you changed between like before we went.
I think it was like, I'd say 3.45. 4.5? 7.5. That's like less than 3.5. No, 3.75.
Just to be difficult.
Yeah, it's going to be Dave Meltzer difficult, like 6.25 for the Okada Omega. So their second match.
So you can just put the big 5. He has to put like was it 4.95? Just like so close, but it's just not 5 out of 5.
He's like you.
Why?
Pernickety arsehole.
But we'll but basically it's a good match basically.
Yeah, it's a good match.
So now from a good match to a very frustrating,
very very frustrating
match with the WWE Championship on the line with Jinder Mahal, the champion,
Maharaja,
versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke.
I said it wrong. My bad.
Shinsuke.
I can't, but you got it right. It's fine. We'll good.
Yep.
But So obviously they try to big it up this match more like to.
I keep burping into the microphone. I do apologise.
I can't do anything.
It's one of those where I can't burp. I'm going off topic. I can't burp. I can only burp like internally. Like that's that. I can't burp out. It's always internal. I have no idea what's wrong with me.
It's not a good thing. Obviously, when you burp, it's not exactly a nice thing to do, is it?
No.
But it's whatever. But yeah. So if Josh does that, then It's his fault.
Sorry.
But yeah, well, it's back to what I was saying. Like they were sort of building it as like two different cultures colliding.
Yeah.
Sort of like, in Ginger Mahal, like Indian.
You keep going ginger.
Ginger. I can't say anything.
Ginger Mahal.
Can't say anything, can I?
It sounds like a musical theatre villain. That Ginger Mahal.
Oh, we know.
He is the modern day Maharaja.
Yeah, like with the
Although it would be
1980s cartoon.
It would be more like the Lion King Scar, kind of like be prepared, that kind of music, or that kind of Shere Khan kind of character. Ginger Mahal. Although it sounds quite camp.
Funny thing is though, that would actually be way more fun than actually what they're presenting now.
Ginger Mahal.
It just because it just be like it'd be a better heel, but like, my God, he's such a bad heel. But yeah, so the way they've been like different cultures, like was it?
Yeah.
And but there was the only way they could do it because it was a quick build up as well for this match.
Yeah. Very quick.
Well, obviously from this match we were thinking, okay, he's finally gonna Hall's gonna finally lose his title because he hasn't been the most entertaining WWE Championship reign.
It's been a failure to the extent like with Mahal like now and him getting the Singh brothers, that is the highest potential and interest it can be. I don't think they can build any more from it.
No, it's just
I don't see how they can make Mahal any more interesting or a threat.
I mean, yeah, because for what the way they booked it, it's just like jobber, three man band like type stuff.
Yep.
To now being like contender for WWE Championship, then winning it.
Yeah.
You just like it was more of a head scratching moment. Going, huh?
It was
just like
it's a land of opportunity, but
yeah, but I mean, when we think of land of opportunity, we would have rather had like Sami Zayn like winning or something.
Oh, absolutely! Of course, we want to see Sami Zayn.
But then that's what we wanted to see. But then obviously he was like, we were sort of okay, where are you going to go with this? Then he won it, and we were just like, what? And ever since then, it's just It's
even the facial reactions from everyone in the arena when Mahal won, and it was one of those 10-minute matches as well. Everyone's like, what? Why?
It just made no. I mean, it didn't make sense.
If they're trying to push Shinsuke as being this big threat, the king of strong style, he comes into NXT with great momentum. He was there for probably a bit too long.
They've done that before.
Yeah, he was there for too long. Then he came onto the main roster, had a few with Ziggler, which was all right. Corbin, but again, it was Baron Corbin.
Well, we've talked about
and then he goes on, and he is meant to look amazing because they had that SmackDown where they tried to make amends to the really shit Battleground. So they had Shinsuke Nakamura and John Cena and Kevin Owens, AJ Styles.
Yeah.
And it was a great show. And they're making Shinsuke look strong. That's what they wanted. By beating Cena and beating him clean. Because Cena is, he's Big Match John. He hits him with the attitude adjustment. And then you think, oh, that might be it. And then he goes for another one. But then Shinsuke gets out of it after he's just received that finishing move. Then he gets out. Kinshasa, 1, 2, 3. Shinsuke looks very strong.
But I mean, do you think that win, like him not winning the title, actually like devalues that win against Cena? Because obviously Cena's like beating Cena's like a big thing. Like when you beat him, you like going up to like winning titles and really going up the card. And obviously, you're not winning it. Maybe it looks a bit devalues it a little bit.
It devalues a lot of things. It devalues the title, which is the major concern. Because we were talking last night. When was the last time that the WWE Championship felt like relevant? Or like the only card, like the last like great champion was AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Because he deserved that championship, absolutely.
And it made sense because obviously best wrestler is the top of the card and the best. And he was great when he had it, but obviously went a bit down when he lost it.
Yeah. Then Seth Rollins had a good reign with it, I think.
Yeah, near about. I mean, a lot of people at the time called him the worst WWE champion ever, but
he wasn't the worst WWE champion because
he was worst booked probably. One of the worst.
Not worse than Mahal.
No. But they've thrown everything at this guy. Like, was it the kitchen sink of just to try and make us all believe he's a threat and he's a good champion. But it's never. It's never going to work.
One thing I'll say about Mahal, like, no doubt he's when he did that video he posted about his workout, he comes across as a really lovely guy. He's worked his arse off to look the way he is. He's worked so hard, and a huge respect for that, absolutely. And I wouldn't mind, as we said before, they've got the main event and upper mid card team the wrong way around. Because that foreign gimmick does work. I mean, they did it with Kevin Owens as the face of America, and he's Canadian.
Yeah.
So Mahal and AJ Styles or whatever you want.
But he just
That
like,
kind of, you want the foreign heat.
It was just
It's cheap heat and it's boring, but if that's what you want to go for, put it as the US title.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, because obviously I've seen his gimmick done, but he said better. It's been done like to death, but I've seen it done better.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously we're talking about the actual like how this match ended.
Yeah.
Ha, the cat's coming on.
Hello.
But yeah, because obviously again it was just another one of the Singh brothers. Obviously they're just distraction. Typical. Old fashioned like J&J security to get their ass whipped all the time. But
they get their ass whipped, and then there was the Colossus, which has been executed much better. But there was no great height on it whatsoever. What are you doing, cat? Stay away from my interface. Don't you dare touch the microphone.
Was it? But yeah, you said the Singh brothers, like sort of like, I mean the finisher. Obviously the way he didn't lock it in with
the Colossus, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the fact that he only hit it once. So I mean, if Nakamura could react so quickly after just being hit with the attitude adjustment, but the Colossus, like, he should have at least kicked out of it, because this is the first time as well that Nakamura's lost on the main roster.
Yeah, I mean, and it should have been like a match like he put just beat him.
Yes.
Like it should have been like a thing.
Just, yeah.
It's like he put everything, and it took he hit his finishers, he hit everything he knew. Couldn't finish him off. And then it took the distraction, would have made sense. And then it took the distraction again to get the win. But no, it's just like, hit it once, 1, 2, 3, walks off, and everyone's like, what?
Yeah, I know you're trying to make Mahal look strong with the Colossus, but you want to book Shinsuke strong. There's nothing wrong with kicking out of a finisher once,
Yeah, no,
if you want to make.
But could our expecting a title change may go for the disappointment that it didn't happen?
I'm very disappointed. I mean, I'm just disappointed in the whole Mahal thing. I mean, there were reports that people wanted Nakamura to be champion, but overall Vince always stated that he preferred Mahal to go over.
But when Vince always wins in them kind of situations.
Of course,
he's the man, guy in charge.
It's the final say.
Yeah, it's good or bad, depends how you. It's not exactly.
Yeah, it's depressing.
But again, it'd be a thing. Maybe they can rectify it in tomorrow night with SmackDown. Maybe they might do something that might make sense. But
There might be a rematch.
I don't know. I was hoping there'd be like a good feel moment like the Shield, the Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose thing, but we never got it.
Yeah.
But but now from something that's really upset to something that's made us,
Oh boy, they saved the best till last.
Ah yes, the main event of the evening, the Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Universal Championship with Samoa Joe, the champ Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman. Do you want to start with this one?
So we start off.
Jesus,
just overall, it's a great match in terms of. See, lengthwise, you're purring as well. She's really purring because she's happy about the match as well, aren't you? But
everyone was.
But the storytelling was great in the match. I have only 1 or 2 downsides about it. That's why it's not a 5-star for me. But it will be remembered, absolutely.
Oh, definitely. It's one of like. As this whole pay-per-view was a bit like it was on them sort of a lot of you are feeling it was all right, but this has been why you remember this.
Yeah, this has been the AJ Styles John Cena of last year. That's why everyone remembered it, and it's good they said the best till last. Exactly,
I think that's why those Sunday matches were shorter, so they can have more time to put more of these spots. But I mean, obviously,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, but anyway, the match started was really cool with the like when he started off, they both went for like Samoa Joe went for Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns went for, or Braun Strowman went for Roman Reigns because they're both having the feud.
Their personal rivalries.
So it makes sense. I mean, but it was really good. I mean, obviously we've got to talk about it. The table spots with Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, the first thing, obviously Samoa Joe putting the Kino clutch on Lesnar outside the ring. Roman Reigns spears him through the barricade,
as he does. But
and then the RIP Spanish announce table.
Poor Spanish announce table. That's what
every time. But goes through the first one, puts through the second one. Everyone wants the third one. One more table. He picks up the table and just throws it on.
Yeah, literally picks it.
Lesnar.
Literally picks it up. Not taking on the monitors or nothing. Just picks it up, chucks it on Brock, and then it's just like this cool. Well, they stop the match. Like all the. Like they think, oh my god.
Lesnar's going out on the stretcher. I knew he'd come back.
Yeah, I mean we've seen that done 1,000 times.
But it makes Strowman look very strong because they've booked him pretty much to perfection.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we worry that they can't book new stars, and this proves they can.
They can
if they wanted to.
Yeah, but they I think just focus all their attention on just the one. I don't know, But
yeah, I mean, that's going to be one of the big spots everyone's met because it's just like everyone, when we're doing it, we're just like open wide eyes, like, yes, this is.
It's like when Samoa Joe put Lesnar through the table that Great Balls of Fire. It's like, oh, this is interesting.
I mean, but it seems to be the thing they do with Brock every time you want to get him out of a match.
They've done it all the time. They did it with Fastlane with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, just like, just put him for, if you want to get, basically, tactically, if you want to get rid of Brock Lesnar, just put him for a table.
You have to team up against him.
Yeah, I mean, it shows how the beast
is.
And
he's a beast, and he did look strong because he came back and he fought against all the odds. That's the most Lesnar's been tested.
Yeah. And also, it also proves that I think he might be sticking around because the reason.
Oh, he's sticking around, yeah.
I mean, we talk about like we're going into the match. We had like different conflicting predictions on.
We did.
I made a very interesting choice of using Roman Reigns. Yeah, I thought because I was thinking that with might do a Shield thing.
Yeah.
And obviously, if he won it, and then it can have Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins come out, and the Shields reformed.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't, so sort of glad they didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, but my first instinct was put it on Braun Strowman, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because the way they've been building it up,
I mean,
like putting all the roster trying to separate them and Brock, it's just like it was. It sounded like he was going to win it. I think he's going to get it eventually. The title.
Oh, he has to. Yeah.
But that was my first thought. But
I mean, we'd love to have seen either Strowman or Joe with the title, and that leads me on to the kind of down points. The only down point the first one of the match was with Joe is he didn't have a lot to do in the match. He put on the Kino clutch a couple of times, but it wasn't not long enough to threaten like, oh, this guy's going to choke out. He's going to choke him out. He's going to do it. But he only really had that, and they've kind of been booking him that he only attacks people from behind.
Yeah, and he was a bit of a blip on the whole thing because when he going into the match, it was more really Braun and Brock Lesnar, really.
Yeah,
Roman was always involved because he's Roman Reigns.
And Roman Reigns with his Superman punch mania.
Oh God! I mean, they're like, it's like doing that to death. They was. It's like, and he always got Michael Cole going, Superman punch, Superman punch. It's like, we get it, Michael. Calm down.
And then how many times did he go? Ooh,
2 or 3 times. It was ridiculous. But I'm glad Brock won. To be fair. Because obviously, every person in that match if they won, had legit. You could believe, basically.
Yeah.
But Brock won, and he, with was it an F5 on what was it?
On Roman Reigns, yeah, he went for another after like 3 Superman punches. Then Lesnar caught him F5.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
I mean, but yeah, if now this happened, well, what are we going to do? Because obviously with Brock, he's always like turns up and you don't see him for like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think he's going to drop it in the next pay-per-view?
Not the next pay-per-view. I think he's going to stick around till Mania with the title. I think Joe and Strowman will get it at some point, but probably after Mania. Whether they do, I think the plan they're still going to do Roman Reigns and Lesnar at WrestleMania, which I don't want them to do.
Because another main event for Roman Reigns, it's just like,
it's too late now to kind of turn back with Roman Reigns because he's had 3 WrestleMania main events in a row, including retiring the Undertaker. And there were talks like he was in the city as well. He was on the the flight there.
You were like really getting like.
I was like, come on, because
every time Roman Reigns was getting a win, it's like, come on, Undertaker, come out,
It's
Undertaker.
like he did it so many times that I think something must have gone wrong here. He's done it too often. He must be waiting for something.
But I guess Undertaker was just there because I was watching them because obviously the guy's retired, and I'm glad he is because the guy's getting like.
He needs to look after himself.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if I was like you're selfish and be like, Undertaker back, but the guy's he's getting old, so let him retire. He's done his that bit, but yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. But yeah, so that's SummerSlam. So we just got to put our final thoughts. If you wanna go first.
Final thoughts. I thought it had some good matches, but overall, it's one of those shows where it had potential to do a lot of things, a lot of potential, and there were some like feel good moments that with Ambrose and Rollins, and then the great Universal Championship match. Some matches were okay, but just living up to the word again, potential wasn't there. Like Corbin, Cena, they could have done something more interesting, or if they tried to make something interesting but failed, including the shark cage match. But it's about potential. I mean, if you're rating it 3 stars, like what the average is, 3 stars? So like 3.
It was not bad. It wasn't good, but it was all right. It was just like
it's okay. At least they booked the order right. I mean, SummerSlam was a clusterfuck.
Yeah,
they were like, I'm sorry, what's going on now? Like everyone was knackered after Cena and AJ, and then I think there was a tag team match, and then it was the WWE Championship, but everyone was knackered, and then it was the United States Championship match, which didn't happen, and then it ended oddly with Lesnar cutting open Orton.
Yeah, I mean, so what would you give? Would you give it like you say 3 out of 5 star, like sort of?
I'd say 3 out of 5. It was a good show.
Yeah, I mean,
but it just not great because it didn't deliver on its potential with most of the matches.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like again, some of the, like obviously the big ones what I would watch the Universal Title match, the WWE Championship match, and the tag team match for Raw, and because obviously I thought that'd be like this type of stuff we all wanted to see.
Yeah, and
some delivered, mostly didn't. And a lot of feuds were put together just like oh god, we've got 2 weeks.
Yeah, in the space of 2 weeks. Yeah, there was some.
So the bill wasn't there, so the crowd didn't really care.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why for me it's like I fully agree. It's like it's 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
But you won't remember this except for one match. It's a very or 2 matches.
You'll probably remember like there'd be maybe like 3 moments where you've got Mahal retaining and everyone went, "What the fuck?" That got a really big reaction. Like, why did that happen? Ambrose and Rollins, which is great to see. It was a nice feel-good moment, whether it was predictable or not. It was great, and the Universal Championship match, which was class.
Yeah,
absolute class.
Yeah, so hopefully, yes, that's our SummerSlam review.
It is.
So hopefully, this will be more than things to come when it comes to doing podcasts.
Yes, the plan is what we'd like to do is meet up for the Big 4 each time.
Survivor Series.
Go Survivor Series.
So hope you enjoyed our review and this podcast, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.